What's good, y'all? Welcome to episode 14 of Vino Conversations. And today I am joined by
SAFA, hi.
the first ever R&B artist on the Vino Conversation podcast. So I got to clap it up for you on that,
Yay!
yo. Appreciate you big
Shouts
time for
R&B.
pulling through. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the genre alive for a lot of you uncles who said R&B is dead. But just first off, congrats on everything because you're going absolutely crazy right now. The Prelude, incredible project. 911, the song just dropped fire as well. Seeing all the performances you're doing, I'm seeing the placements you're getting and just the whole motion of your career. So just want to first give you your flowers and say congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for keeping up and giving me my flowers.
Of course.
Working and I'm loving everything that I'm doing right now. So
Incredible. So as always, we got to start with a cheers. So cheers.
Cheers.
We're sipping on a little bit of rosé from France. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give it a taste. Okay, it's very light. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of maybe strawberry notes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like I just woke up. Like,
Yeah.
It's not the type of wine that'll make you want to sleep. Like, it's
That's
the
what I'm
type that'll
saying.
wake you up,
Mhm.
you know, activate your mind a little bit.
That's a fact.
I like the fruity tang to it.
Okay, hold on. You kind of pro with this.
Hey, not too much.
Word. Not a bad description. I heard in one of your interviews on Thursdays, you said you'd like to link up with your friends, sip some wine, and listen to new music, which is exactly pretty much the concept of Vino Friday. So I'm like, this is too perfect, honestly.
Yeah. No, Thursday nights when all the music is coming out, it has to be a thing. Like, I'm literally going to do it this week, next week.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dialed in. And what's your favorite type of wine? Are you a rosé girl?
I'm a white wine kind of girly, like
Okay.
a Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
kinda
I'd say that's the
girl.
best white for sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for coming through once again. Really means a lot. And I'm very excited to get into this.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So got to start with all the way back. Let us know where you're from, your background, and how it was growing up. What kind of music did you hear in the house, and how did that influence your creation of music?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Virginia, so I was raised there, and I moved back and forth between Virginia and Qatar growing up. So I was like moving in and out of the country a lot.
Crazy mix.
Yeah. So like my dad was working out there, so I was living there. And yeah, so I moved back and forth a lot. I listened to a lot of like popular American music growing up, but also a lot of music that was playing in my household when I was in Qatar was like Arabic music because my family is Sudanese and Egyptian, so a lot of that music. And then my mom was like obsessed with like Turkish dramas, so like Turkish music.
Yeah.
So like a blend of that and like what's on the radio and then what's popping in Virginia.
Yeah.
Like some Timbo, some Missy,
Definitely.
Chris Brown, like,
Yup.
all that stuff growing up I was bumping. And yeah.
How did that influence the music that you make today? And do you think any of that comes from like your Sudanese Egyptian culture?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think like a lot of runs in my music and kind of like harmonics and harmonies that I choose to go towards definitely come from that. I also think at the same time, like I blend like that funky, like syncopated rhythm from a lot of things that I heard like in the DMV growing up with that. So I think it's like a nice little fusion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what was like your music style growing up in terms of you actually making music? When did you kind of first get into singing and start kind of pursuing it in that level?
So I actually like started in music playing in a band. So
Okay, what'd you play? I played a couple instruments too.
yeah, so I played a few instruments. I played the flute for a while. And then I got onto the ukulele, and then I was like writing a lot of songs on ukulele. I was writing like pop R&B kind of vibe. And then I feel like over time my sound progressed a little bit more as I like kind of like did more research and then like studied more and found what I feel like my voice really sits nicely on. And I feel like now it's more of like a still pop R&B, but like with a little bit of like an alternative swing to it. Yeah.
I think so. What's the song? ILY Play Fight?
Yeah.
That's definitely where I hear a little bit of that alternative vibe that you got going on.
Definitely, yeah.
How would playing music, I would say, like affect the way that you create it? Because I feel like just as a consumer of music, being someone who used to play the violin and the euphonium, fun fact, didn't actually enjoy it, but I was very just like naturally musically inclined for how I picked up the instruments. I feel like it makes me listen to music at a much like deeper level when you have, and I have much less of it, but some level of being classically trained. So even just like the way you might lay your vocals on songs like Casual, those are little things that I hear that I think other people don't. So how has that impacted like the depth to how you create your music?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I feel like I listen to music in the same way. Like that background in it and like that classical training definitely makes a difference. I think there's like a group of people that enjoy music just for the vibes and like the feeling that it gives. But for me, I think it's a little bit more than that. I think because I've studied it and like practiced it for so long, I think, you know, like the lyrics are really important to me for one. So like what's being said in music that I consume is like very important to me. I think like choices, like just like little choices, like background vocals, like the vocal production, beat switches, timing
on Casual, Get Off My Dick. I was like, oh shit. Right when it was like, oh, she brought it back.
timing for sure. No, I think all of those things become more important when you have like that classical ear. And I think too, when it comes to like creating music for me, because I listen to it in that way and just look at music in that way, it kind of makes me like forces me to take my time a little bit creating it and like be more intentional. But like I feel like that's just so necessary with music. Like I don't think it's something to just kind of like just do because you can do it. I think it has to be intentional.
And what are your thoughts on that? Because right now a lot of people are saying music doesn't feel as intentional as it could be, kind of due to the access of it, which I think there's a lot of beauty to the access that anyone can drop on Spotify. I could go home, record a voice memo, and drop it on Spotify tonight, quite literally. You know what I mean? And so not everybody is classically trained or equally passionate the way you kind of had to be maybe in the past, or at least be brought up by a label that's forcing you, you know, to put the music out. What's kind of your thoughts on that as someone who is so deeply passionate about music overall and isn't just trying to hit a lick to, you know, get some extra dough?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I feel like I breathe it. Like, I don't know, like, I grew up making music and I grew up studying it, and then I went to college and I got a degree in it, and like now I'm like doing it as like my full-time job. So it's like, obviously it's going to be more intentional for me. I think now, because everything is so accessible with like social media and like the tools that you need to create music are so much more accessible. Like, I love that it gives more people an opportunity. I don't necessarily love the lack of intentionality with like some of the new music that I've been hearing. Because like I think it shifts not only like people who release music, but it shifts how like labels think. Because now labels are just trying to get a quick buck by, you know, signing somebody that has a viral hit. But it's like, if that person doesn't have any longevity, then are you really like doing the right thing? You know what I mean? Or are you really pushing somebody that has the right intentions and like the actual passion for it, or somebody that's just trying to make a quick buck? You know what I mean?
100%. And I feel like TikTok is the number one platform that's pushing that, because of, I'd probably say 2020 with the viral dances and how that got on the songs is what's really pushed that. And just the idea that also the way you consume music. Are you now consuming music through somebody dancing on social media or doing a fit check rather than just like enjoying the song on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever it is? So I think that's definitely had a really big impact on it. And especially as you go by generation into like, you know, us being Gen Z versus millennials, obviously probably don't consume it the same way. But I think that's, and I try not to automatically agree with people my age or older, whatever it is. But I do understand where some of their hate comes from, because I'm like, nah, y'all kind of right about that. For some of it. I don't like the R&B Dead vibe, but some of the way we can.
That's crazy. I don't know why people
we're going to talk about it.
There's a lot. Yeah, we'll get into it, because there's a lot going on in R&B. If you really think about it, it's low-key dominating right now. But
that's what I be saying. Yeah.
Amen. They don't want to give us no credit.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think TikTok's had a negative side on that, but I guess at the same time, you could be super talented and go viral because of social media. So it's just pros and cons, you know?
So yeah, I agree with you there. I think definitely platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels now, since they're trying to be TikTok, literally.
That's a fact.
Kind of help like boost music that isn't as intentional, I guess, or whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for people like expressing themselves and whatnot. But, you know, there's just like a fine line between like just making it just to make it and like making it with a purpose. Like, is there a message that you're trying to convey? Are like people actually resonating with what you're saying? And like some music, it is just for the vibes, but
and I feel like virality tends to be usually a gimmick. So it's like, it's
really a test.
You know what I mean? It's just meaningless in that sense. Like, because for instance, your music's amazing, but there's no gimmick to it. So to go viral with just like, I don't want to say just a good song. Like, how do you go viral with just a good song? There has to be something that makes everybody want to hop on it. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying right now? Shout out, homie. I ain't got no smoke for you. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean? There's usually some sort of gimmick to it. So I don't know. Just my thoughts on it.
What I was going to say that I totally forgot though is like, it does that. That's the bad side of it. But the good side of it is like, it has really helped me like grow my audience, and it has really helped me like create a community around my music and like find people that resonate with my music. And like just the other day, like I was just like, I got a DM on TikTok, and it was this person that was like, hey, never like stop releasing music, like your music really resonates with me, like it makes people feel seen and stuff like that. And it's like, that's what I'm doing this for, not just like for a little like viral moment to go like shake my ass on the camera. Like, it's really for that, you know?
For sure. No, absolutely. And that's how I connected with you, with social media as well. So it definitely has those pros. Absolutely, absolutely. Going back a little bit, you mentioned that you studied music in college and actually have a degree in it. But I heard on another one of your interviews before that you originally were at NYU for pre-med. So I would love to know a little bit about your STEM background, because I actually have a degree in biomedical engineering. So I kind of relate in that. No, I'm not trying to say it like that. I'm just saying like, you funny. Not just like someone else who's into R&B with a STEM background. Just like, I just think that's ironic, honestly.
Yeah, no, So, like, I have immigrant parents, and, like, you know, with immigrant parents, they want the best life for you.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I genuinely was interested in science, like, growing up. It was something I was really passionate about. I was in a lot of clubs, like, around it. I was really into astronomy, and I was really into, like, medicine and biology, and it was something that I excelled in school. So, naturally, like, I wanted to study in college because it was what I was good at. But it wasn't necessarily what I was passionate about.
Right.
And when I moved to New York, I feel like just the city, like, seeing people follow what they're passionate about over what they think will, you know, protect them, it kind of just, like, inspired me a little bit.
Yeah.
To, like, really live and breathe what I'm saying I'm passionate about, which is music. So after my first year in college, I was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm finna, like, actually do what I want to do. Yeah, like, deadass. And, yeah, so I started studying recorded music. And literally because I studied that, like, I'm in this position right now. Like, I genuinely feel like my degree helped me learn so much about the business, and like I'm still independent, and you know, I think I feel like set up for success because of my degree and because of my education. So yeah. That's
fire. And so what was that switch in how you made music once you realized, no, I'm going to really pursue this? Like, what was the energy when you started stepping in the studio, hitting up producers, etc.? Like, what was the intentionality of like, nah, I'm not just going to make music, I'm going to pursue this as my career?
Yeah. I think definitely, like, when it got serious for me and, like, when I made that switch, it was, like, first of all, now I'm studying it in school. So, like, everything I'm studying, I can actually apply to what I'm passionate about and what I'm doing outside of school. So a lot of music I was making, I was, like, too scared to, like, share, like, properly or really promote because I just hated being perceived.
I had to get over that, too, being on camera with, like, podcasting and everything.
No, and it's, like, a weird thing because it's, like, I've been releasing music on SoundCloud for, like, almost 10 years.
Wow.
And, like, I used to have a YouTube channel. Like, I used to have a YouTube channel where I, like, posted, like, covers and, like, makeup videos and all these things.
Oh, you was really out here.
I was out here.
On your
like,
Dochi, low-key,
I was not shy, but for some reason when it came to my music, I just didn't really think I was, like, capable of, you know, being perceived in the way that I wanted it to be perceived. But I don't know, I just kind of had to bite the bullet, and I was like, since I'm already doing this and I'm paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it and learn about it,
tuition,
then,
you know how that go.
Shit, I better fucking commit to it. And that's
amazing. That's amazing. And then speaking of being in the studio, what does the average studio session with SAFA look like?
I mean, honestly, like, I'm just now getting out of my shell. Like, a lot of music I record at home.
Okay.
So, like, my whole entire project I recorded at home by myself.
It's incredible.
So, like, once I started learning how to record myself, like, I just kind of, it's just easiest for me to emote the best and, like, really take my time with it when I'm doing it myself. But if I want to, like, work in a studio, like, I love my engineer, Mark. He mixes all my stuff, masters all my stuff. And I've been working with him since I first started releasing music.
Fire.
And, like, I think us just, like, having that relationship where we've been working with each other for so long, he understands, like, what I need in the studio and understands, like, what I mean with the things that I'm saying. Like, our verbiage, like, matches now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think a studio session with me is very much just, like, bumping a beat, figuring out, putting out a beat, or listening to what's already there. And then we start with melodies, and then from the melodies come, like, feelings, and I figure out how I'm feeling, and then I figure out what I'm trying to say about how I'm feeling, and then we turn it into lyrics.
That's fire. And are you the type, like, to bring the homies through, like, you vibing out, you're comfortable showing a bunch of people your music? Are you like, nah, everybody get the hell out of here, it's just me and the engineer? Because I've heard very different types of things depending on who you are. You know, for instance, rappers, the vibe usually is they bring all the
hella
homies
niggas
through, you know, hella niggas, hella shorties, Henny flowing, play the banger. Because people say, well, how are you going to not enjoy that song? It automatically is going to sound fire. Your friends are kind of yes men hyping you up compared to like when you lock in. So I'm just curious, what's your like social vibe with recording music?
I think it depends on what kind of music I'm trying to create in that moment. I think a lot of my music is very soft and sensual and is to be like consumed intellectually.
Okay.
So I think as a result, I don't like to have too much distractions.
Yeah.
That's why I tend to record at home, or like it's just me, the engineer, and a producer, or me, the engineer, and like another songwriter. I don't like to have a lot of extra people in there. It's a very like intimate and personal experience for me when I'm writing music.
For sure.
And recording music as well. Like I low-key get like distracted easily. So I just need to be focused on it.
Got you.
Yeah.
And then also, of course, speaking of recording, what are all the hats you wear in music? Because obviously you do your vocals. I know you write your own music. Do you also do production? Things of that nature?
Yeah. So for me, it really started off with singing. Like I sing in choir. And then after kind of like studying some of my favorite singers like Brandy, Ariana Grande, I became like obsessed with their vocal production. And so I started practicing vocal production. And so I would throw that hat on as well. And, like, I've definitely vocal produced for other people. And like it's something that I really enjoy to do.
That's dope.
Amongst that, I also started like writing. And so I've been writing for like 13 years. Sheesh. And I started off writing like stories and like books, and then it transitioned into poetry, and that transitioned into lyrics. It's perfect. Through college, I like came out of my shell, and just like working with a lot of my producer friends, they pushed me to learn how to produce, and so I produced like a couple songs on my project and like some stuff that's coming out soon. So definitely like excited about that. But on top of that too, like. I shoot stuff, I color grade, I edit videos, I market. Like, I have a history of working in marketing and, like, social media brand management. So that stuff as well, like, I all like to tie it all together into, like, my artist project.
Yeah, and I think that's probably part of your success is the fact that you can do so much and that you have a very wide skill set that gives you, like, the end-to-end view on it. And you're not simply performing the song and not writing and not doing production, not understanding the marketing behind it. With you having all those hats, I think there's definitely got to be a reason why you are where you are, to be honest. So, no, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. And it's like a lot of those skills, like, I'm very blessed to have had the opportunity to learn, like, through school or, like, you know, through just the people around me who are willing to teach me. Yeah. So I don't take it for granted. Like, it definitely took a lot of grinding and learning and trial and error to, like, get it to where it is right now.
Of course. And is there any hats that you don't wear yet that you'd want to do in the future, and maybe that people would be surprised that you want to wear? And I can also answer for my own industry type of stuff.
So, like, I can technically do this, but I want to get really good at it. I can mix. I want to get better at it, though. So I've just been, like, studying. Like, I studied it in school, and, like, I do a lot of demo mixes. I mixed a couple songs that I released as well, but I just want to get really good at it. I don't want to be completely self-sufficient because I really do love collaborating. For sure. But I definitely want to, like, have those skills so I can apply them in other areas. Like, let's say, like, down the line, I want to support, like, artist friends of mine who don't have those skills, or I want to start a label. Yeah. And, like, I want to be able to have the skills to, like, do things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Fire. On my side of things, obviously, you know, I do the media stuff, I host events, but I feel like, and I don't know, maybe this is just me having a good taste in music. I feel like I could give legitimate criticism in studio to help an artist develop songs in a project and like the concept of it, the marketing behind it. I don't know if A&Ring is the right term for it.
I was just about to say
A&R.
that.
I feel like I don't want to say I definitely could because I don't know if I'd be in the studio like, bro, this is mad tedious, get me out of here. But I feel like I could give legit opinions on that. And then the other day, I was singing in the shower, I'm like, can I sing, bro?
Hey, let me hear some.
I'm playing. But I do feel like if someone gave me some auto-tune, I could make a track.
Let me hear some.
Just one. Nah, we ain't gonna do all that. Not yet. After the second cup, maybe.
Who's your favorite R&B singer?
Probably Bryson Tiller.
All right, spin a little. Let's go.
We can't do it. After the second cup, baby.
Well, if you want to be a singer, you can't be shy.
That's a fact. Well, I'm not shy talking. I got to go over the singing.
But you can't be shy singing either.
Listen, don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't. I got that. There it is. Hold on. She can really sing, y'all. She can really sing, yo. But nah, if I'm just like, I always be joking. I know some engineers and stuff too. I'm like, yo, get me in the studio real quick. Throw a little auto-tune on me, bro. Let me drop something. Hey. You never know.
Don't let me find out.
That's what I'm saying. I might be on the next project. Don't play with me, man.
Y'all be doubting me. They don't even know.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. But you spoke about the grinding that it took for you to develop all these skill sets. So what is something that people might not know about being an artist, making music, releasing music that you kind of wish they would know? Whether it's fans, whether it's friends, family, because I feel like even just in everything I do, I think people sometimes take for granted how much work, time, attention to detail, focus, communication, et cetera, financial investment it takes to like do what I do. So I'm sure in making music, you've got to feel that people like, y'all low-key don't understand what I be going through making this stuff. So if there's anything that you would like to share that you kind of wish people understood?
Yeah, I mean, being an independent artist is not an easy thing to do. Mm-hmm. You wear all the hats that we talked about.
Yep.
But, you know, I think if there's one thing that people don't understand is that, you know, an artist is like a person beyond their music as well.
Facts.
Like I have a whole life outside of the shit that I be spitting. Like a lot of the stories that I tell in my music are just small little fractions of this whole entire life that I'm living. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when people are like, where's the music? Or like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm trying to live life, you know, like
literally.
But I think, yeah, like just understanding that, which I think, you know, the general person would, but I think when you become very much like excited about somebody, you want them to like maintain that momentum, but sometimes life just happens and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
Anything else that you'd want to express out to family, friends? Because I know they'd be on your head. I know it's something in there you want to say.
Yeah, like the same way y'all be supporting the Beyoncés with the $600 tour tickets and the $1,000 meet and greet and shit like that. Keep that same energy if you say you believe in me, because it's always can I get a comp ticket for your show, or like, let me hear this, or like, can you slide me on the guest list? But it's never like, oh, I'm going to buy your merch, or, oh, I'm going to support you in this way. Because it's like, if you really support me, you will support me by investing in me. If you just want to support me from a distance, that's okay too. But don't be asking me for anything if you're not really supporting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm very much all about like supporting my friends and like buying tickets for shows and like doing things where I can. So I think that's really important. I think I have a great community around me that does that for me. But there are just some people that just like don't really understand, and I don't take it personally. They just don't really understand like how much it can take out of you and like how much it can mean to like invest into like an artist's career.
For sure. I definitely feel that, especially when it comes to the event portion. Everybody wants to be on the guest list. Everybody wants a free ticket. Everybody wants, yo, can we get a section for free? Like all this kind of stuff. I'm like, bro, I got other people. And it's crazy to me sometimes when it's people that I've known for mad long that can't just get the like, it sometimes cover be 15, bro. Then people that have just met me are like, no matter what, 20 every time. They're gonna pay the ticket, not ask no questions, show up, have a great time, post it, say, yo, pull up to this thing. And I'm like, bro, I just met them, they've been supporting me. What's good with y'all? It's the entitlement, I would say.
I don't know if it's like a comfortability thing or whatever, but it's really crazy how people you don't know will support you more than the people that you have known your whole entire life. It's really crazy, but I don't know. It just says a lot, that's all. Yeah,
for sure. And then going into that, I'm very curious, like, what's been your relationship with your ego throughout this whole journey of becoming an artist and, you know, dropping music? And also just like with social media, we know how it is. Anytime you're putting yourself out there, it's very easy to let comparison affect how you feel about yourself, especially in this age, especially, you know, in our demographic and everything. So what's that been like? Have you been able to kind of quiet out the noise, not care that somebody's at this festival, like I sing better than them, whatever? Have you been able to like really zone in? Has it gotten to you sometimes? Just curious how that's really been for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has their own journey for sure. I think that's something I had to realize very early on. Because like working in this music space, especially in New York, it's a very small community, surprisingly, especially in R&B. And so you will see a lot of people like excelling and moving past you and moving in different speeds. Excuse me. And so, yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes it's like, damn, that could have been me. But, you know, it's also just understanding that every opportunity that's meant for you, like God is going to put in your life. And if it's not meant for you to happen at that moment, then it just won't. And if it's meant to happen for that person, then it is. And I don't think like I genuinely don't think that any opportunity that somebody else gets is an opportunity taken from me. I think that opportunity was meant for them, and the opportunity that's meant for me is on its way. And
beautiful.
Yeah, I genuinely believe in God and just being where you need to be when you're supposed to be there. So like having that kind of faith and like strengthening that faith has just kind of helped me quiet that out.
That's amazing. No, and I think, again, that's another reason that you're where you are. Not just the skills that we talked about before, but I think I can tell your mentality is on a different level. So I'm sure that's definitely been pushing you.
It took a lot of work. Like,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. Like, I used to compare myself all the time and just like wonder how I can be better. And then I was like, I'm not really in competition with anyone because everybody has their own lane. And if I want to have my own sound and my own audience and community around my music, then I'm only competing with myself, really, like to just be a better version and to do better every single time. And so that's what I'm working on. I mean, it's an ongoing thing to work on always. Of course, you're always going to feel down or like feel like you're comparing somebody or, you know, let's say a song doesn't perform as well as you wanted it to. It's like understanding that there's more where that came from and like, I know personally I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. So shit, I'm gonna just keep going.
Come on, that's amazing energy. I think too what people don't realize is when you actually think about how many different things are factors in your life, why on earth would your journey be the same as someone else's?
Exactly.
Like it's genuinely not logical if you actually break it down.
Yeah.
You don't know who their parents are,
what they're logical.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Like,
sometimes niggas just don't be
you know
logical.
What I'm saying? Like in the event space, obviously New York, there's so many huge events and things like that nature. There's events like Everyday People that are worldwide and pull up who've been doing it for like 15 years. So if I want to start comparing myself to the biggest event in the world, like literally what is the point of that, bro, when you've done, you know what I mean? So I definitely relate to that. But once you just get logical, that is like, it's just not going to be the same journey. You know, some people have bigger teams. Some people are on major labels. Like,
some people
it's just
have bigger money.
Sometimes the parents finance it, which shout out you know what I'm saying? If your parents can do that, like,
shouts to you.
You know what I'm saying? So I think people need to kind of breathe a little bit. I know we're in a little bit of an anxious generation. Think about it, very much so, and be like,
because the world's ending, but that's another topic.
We're gonna be good. Is the world ending?
The world is ending.
That's your take?
Yeah.
Damn, you watched the whole Black Mirror season?
No, I don't need to watch that to know. I see it every day.
You think so?
It's scary times, especially in this country. Yeah. But let's not.
I have a story for that, but I don't know if I can say it on mic, so I'm going to tell you after. But
all right.
I was in the propaganda machine by accident, and I was like, oh this country's actually nuts. Yeah. Yeah, so I got a story for you after, but like low-key legally, I don't know if I can say it. So I'm going to just, all right. It's some crazy stuff.
Sorry, y'all. This is not for y'all.
Not for y'all. Maybe Patreon, but.
Maybe. Hey, subscribe.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have one yet, but maybe I'll make it.
Right.
So speaking of that, though, let's get into the industry of music. So kind of make it a little bit wider. What are some things that you would talk about being an independent artist versus a major label artist?
Like there's a lot of differences. Like when you're a major label artist, like your main focus is creating the art. And so you have a team behind you that does the marketing, that does the content plan, that gets your mixes and masters done, that does the styling, that does the treatments for the music videos, like all of those things. You know what I mean? I was about to hand this over so I can start
Listen, go ahead.
In my hands.
You got a table right there if you need it.
But when you're an independent artist, you're responsible of all of those things. And so I feel like that's why a lot of people get burnt out easily. I've definitely found moments where I felt very burnt out and I felt like I needed to take a break. And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think like it depends on what your goal is as an artist. Like if your goal is to just reach as many people as possible, then maybe going with a label is the right decision for you. And I don't even like think that's a bad decision to make. But if you're trying to build something for yourself, something sustainable, something that you have complete ownership of, and you want to like keep the circle small around it, then being independent is the way to go.
Fire. I low-key say that too, just even from like a content standpoint in terms of like working in podcasting. Specifically, like I also do like my soccer stuff. And for us to be able to, in the same studio, build from the ground up our own creation has allowed us to talk about the things we talk about on our podcast, like talking about Palestine's relation in soccer and seeing people hold up the flag when if you're on somebody else's company that you don't own, you can't talk about that. Right. So that we were like one of the only people that actually were able to speak up about that. So I think there's a lot of value in like really owning what you do and being able to fully express yourself through it. Because I also think that adds to the longevity of it.
Yes.
Because knowing your purpose and knowing your why is always going to drive you more than just a quick buck, I would say.
Knowing your purpose and knowing your why, but also knowing your worth. Because if you really believe in the creations that you're creating, like, you know that it's not really worth any money, really. Like, I think, yes, would I sign a major label deal when the time is right? Probably.
Yeah.
Because I want my music to reach as many people as possible. But at the same time, I don't, like, right now I own my masters and I don't plan on...
That's a big topic right now, too.
Like, me personally, I think that ownership is so important because I really have faith in the music that I'm putting out and in the story that I'm telling. And, you know, everybody has a different journey in this industry. It's very flexible and the industry itself is always moving. So that could change.
Yeah.
In the future, God knows.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of, are you not up to date, I'd say, but have you heard of like how blockchain in music and like what the future of that's looking like? Going direct to, I think that's going to be very interesting to see how you kind of market direct to consumer and allow a lot of different ways to monetize your audience.
Yes.
There was, I forgot his name. He's a big DJ. I think his name's like DJ Love. He went to like, I think he studied economics at WashU, so he's always been kind of a brainy person. And he was already a huge DJ at the time, but he did like a lottery, or no, an auction, and the top 7 auctioneers get to go to backstage passes for the rest of his shows for life and get like an early copy of all the music he ever drops. Because it was like a smart contract through the blockchain. So just like, well, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? Like some crazy way that you can market to your audience. And he made like a few mil off of it. Again, huge DJ already. But that just shows you with technology, the different ways you can monetize your audience and your relationship with your fan, so much different than going through a label or even going through social media and things like that. So I think it's about to get crazy, honestly.
Yeah, no, I support it. Like, there's some really cool platforms. Like, even, I don't know if you've heard of
I think I might have. I've heard of a few different ones that artists are using.
But yeah, it facilitates that direct to consumer like relationship. Like I know J. Cole had a lot of success on there.
Oh, with not the pod, the thing he was dropping before that show in New York, right?
An album on there like before it fully came out, I'm pretty sure. And like his consumers like directly bought it from him. Yeah. And before he put it out on streaming where you're making decimals. Literally decimals.
It's like 0.003 per stream.
Yeah, it's some wild shit.
It's crazy.
And you're investing OD bread into it. Yeah.
100%. And then speaking of technology, I'm curious if you have any takes on AI in music, because that's getting a bit wild now, and it's only going to get crazier. Yeah,
I'm honestly scared.
Yeah.
I think AI can be used for a lot of really cool things. Like I've utilized it to help me with music stuff, but when it comes to the actual music, I think it should not be touched.
Yep.
I'm not really a fan of it.
Yeah.
I think it takes the whole purpose of it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree too. I think also like in a time of the lack of community continues to grow. We talked about the anxiety before, kind of our generation, and like just the lack of personal connection in third spaces, all these sort of things. The lack of need for other human to then have music and emotional expression of the human experience come from a robot.
Emotional expression.
You know what I mean? Like that to me is insane and like cannot be touched.
Yeah.
You know, a beat is one thing, I guess, or like a faster way, even that, you know what I'm saying? A faster way to edit the song, sure, maybe in the right. But you're even saying no to that, you know? I don't know.
I don't think it should be touched. I'm not a fan of using AI to make music. I'm a fan of using AI to learn how to market your music or like help you come up with like, you know, strategies or like understand data or like even like help you create like, you know, just like plans and strategies, but the actual product, the actual music, I don't.
Yeah. I think the only thing, so what do you call it? You know, you said you do video editing. When there's like open gaps in speech, let's say on this podcast, you can use AI to find the open gap to cut out a pause for a clip. I think that's
useful.
You know what I'm saying? Something that's just automating, not a meaningless task, but like just a manual work
making it more quick.
You know what I'm saying? But to actually like make the music, the song, like that to me is just crazy.
Or it's like there's like a weird awkward silence, so you use AI to fill it up.
There you go.
Analyze the voice and use AI to fill up the awkward silence, and then like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like that's not real.
Yeah.
And the music is not real.
Yeah.
And it's like, where is it getting all this information from? Everything that's already out.
Yeah.
So it's
nothing
not
new.
Real.
Yeah.
And it's just recycled.
Yeah. So how can you even like, you're going to start relating to the robot music?
Right.
Like,
Right.
It's absolutely crazy. Because
Yeah.
the Prelude certainly was not made with AI.
No, not even touched. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
So, yeah. And I mean, let's talk about that project. So I just got to say, once again, congrats to you.
Thank
7
you.
songs, no skips. I love the melodies, the cadences, the writing. I thought it was packaged very well, like as a story and the way that it flowed. So what was it like making that project?
Yeah, I mean, I worked on that project for like 3 years.
Wow.
So it was a long process, a lot of revising, a lot of songs were lost and taken off, and a lot of new things added. But I think the one thing that like maintained was just like the feeling that I was trying to convey and like the story that I was trying to tell. And like all those songs are just on there because they felt good to me and they felt like they made sense and they told the story that I wanted to tell.
Yep.
I got to collaborate with like some really amazing people to like not only bring the music to life, but the visuals, I think, which helped aid in that project a lot. And yeah, I'm just very grateful to my team for believing in me and being patient with me for those 3 years. Like a lot of things changed. And I'm very proud of it. I think it's a great like first introduction to myself and my music. And I'm very grateful with the way that it's been received.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite song on the project? A person? I know you're not supposed to because you like all 7, but is there one that like resonates a little bit more with you or meant a little bit more to make?
Yeah. I feel like it changes all the time.
Yeah.
I think right now, I Love You Play Fight is definitely my favorite one. Just
okay.
I feel like I had the most fun with it. Like I was just so loose and just like so authentically myself, and like it just kind of like all came from me, and like I produced it with my friend Carter, and like I don't know, I just feel like it's most authentically me.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it's my current favorite.
Fire. My favorites, again, no skips. Drive Slow, Crazy, Slide, Crazy, Casual. You talking your shit. I love it.
Thank
Casual is a bop. I've definitely played it at my events before. I'd say that one is definitely a bop. I love the rap feature on it too. Was dope. Then you slide right back in. Get out my dick. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
that shit was dope.
Drive Slow almost didn't make the cut.
Really?
Actually.
And you did that one on the radar too, right?
I did.
Yeah.
So Drive Slow almost didn't make the cut. Like
that's a vibe though.
I had written most of that song. I didn't have I think I didn't have a second verse, and I had like everything else. And I was just like, fuck, if I can't finish the song, then it can't be on the project.
Right.
But I always just knew there was something about it that was like so SAFA, like the sound of it, the production, the story. I was like, it was so authentically me that I have to finish it. So out of everything else in the project, it was planned to be on there. That was one of the last ones I finished. And I'm surprised that people like
it's fire.
It's one of the most popular ones off the project.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I gotta make a video for it or something.
You should. You should. Absolutely. I feel like I don't want to say you rapped on the song, but there's like those little cadences that you get before the chorus that's like kind of that little triplet low key, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that adds a lot to it.
I think it is rap. I think it's like melodic rap.
Your melodic rap, yeah.
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, fire. Would you?
I think I don't rap like Dochi, like, you know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, you good.
But I think, you know, like, it is. I think just because I could sing, niggas is not going to say it's rap. But don't let me start rapping for real and stop singing, because then y'all going to be confused.
Would you ever drop like a rap song? Like SZA's, I think, SOS opening track, she's actually just rapping the whole time, if I'm not mistaken. Would you like just rap? Because think about you, not everyone in R&B has such like a distinct pen, but you can really write.
Oh, thank you.
So I feel like, of course, if you rapped it, it would sound pretty fire.
Yeah, I definitely have some rap songs in the vault.
Yeah?
I just want to make sure I do it right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not going to drop like a trap banger
the time
necessarily.
Is right. Yeah.
Yeah. Heard you. That's fire.
I want to make sure niggas know I can really sing first.
Come on. That's a fact.
And then I could like branch out a little more, you know?
Yeah, nah, absolutely. And then you just dropped 911, another fire track. Another track with you know, talking a little bit of shit. So what was it like making that track? Very quotable. I don't have to quote it. You can quote it if you want to, but dudes be breaking their own heart. That is a fact.
Like, facts. Like, I don't know. That song's really just like a personal anecdote. Like, niggas really be breaking their own heart. And it's like such a funny story to tell. Like, I really wrote that for the girls. Like, I think it's relatable, and like it tells that story. It's like, I think karma is a big thing that I live by. And so I really wanted to make a song about that. And I feel like it aided in the Prelude story. So it's the first single off of the Prelude Extended.
Fire.
And yeah.
Excited for that as well. And I was going to say too, just like, what does it mean for you? So one thing I think you do well, you, I would say, cover the full gamut of romance, and so there's, there are the heartbreak moments, there's the meeting the person, there's, oh, I'm over you sort of thing. What's it like to be able to fully express that in a very honest way?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of my music is like personal to me, and I think just constantly being inspired and like loving hard. I think like I write a lot of like romantic music, but I'm also very inspired by like platonic love and like familial love, and like I have a lot of music coming out that tells those stories as well. And even some of the music that I have out, it like tells those stories. Like a lot of my music sounds like it's about romance, but some of it is about my relationship with myself and my relationship with my friends. And I just like love really hard, and I feel like there's a lot of love in my life. Like it's very important to me, and something that I've like always like had the pleasure of experiencing. Thank you, God.
Of course.
And so it very much inspires me in everything that I create.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And speaking of your honesty and your music, I'm gonna flip this just a little bit. Brent Faiyaz, I would say, someone who's considered to be quite honest in his music, which gets into the whole trope I was saying earlier of kind of the old heads talking about, oh, R&B's dead. All R&B is toxic. There's no more romance. There's no more love music. And I have a few thoughts on that, because one, for Brent to what seems to me, again, very honest music, if that's his life experience and he wants to talk truly about what he's doing and going through, I don't see what's wrong with that. And I'd rather that than a fake packaged love story of you crying in the rain for the video, but you're really cheating on shorty, or worse, allegations that we hear 20 years later. Because how many bad things have we heard about all these R&B legends?
And niggas can always tell when shit is fake.
That's like, what I'm saying.
I can always tell when something is fake, or when you're not really feeling what you're saying for real. So no, I think Brent is great. I think I resonate with some of his music and some of the things that he says. Like, love is a complicated thing, especially in this generation. And like, sometimes it is toxic. And like, I think it's important for people to have things that they can resonate with. And like, music is one of those. So
100%.
I totally support.
And then for the unks, the aunties that say R&B is dead,
go listen back to that classic if that's what you want so bad. But it's really not.
It's
like,
not dead at all.
You got to change with the times. You got to keep up with the times. Sounds evolve. Lyrics evolve. You know, society as a whole evolves. So it's like, you just got to keep up with that.
Yeah. And I would say, like, there is love music.
Yeah.
You make love music.
I make it.
You know
just
what I'm saying?
Listen to my
she
music.
right here.
Like...
Isaiah Falls definitely makes romantic music. So Daniel Caesar's made romantic. I shouldn't even have to say it. Her has made beautiful romantic music.
Yeah.
Bryson, even though he gets the stick of like being sad, that's not really true when you listen to the majority of his music. He's made love music. He's made the dance records with Run Me Dry and Calypso. So I feel like it's honestly older millennials just not wanting to do the searching for the new music, because the way they grew up is, let's say by the time they're in college, they still had 106 in Park. They had a very curated way to consume what is like the mainstream. So, and shout out the legends, man. Shout out Lloyd, shout out, Bobby Valentine, whatever, early Chris Brown, shout out that era. But it was kind of packaged and given to you. Radio used to be a thing. Hot 97, really So like the way we consume music and the way we're discovering artists is through Spotify, IG, streaming, TikTok, YouTube. And it's much, you know what I mean? It's much more segmented in kind of, you look at the whole landscape and build your personal taste now, I would say, more so than before, where it was more packaged for you. And some of those lower key artists you'll never have heard because they didn't have access to drop that music. So I feel like, I don't know, they just got to get over it is what I would say.
I think it's like an oversaturated industry for sure. And maybe they're just not finding what they're looking for, but there's so much talent in R&B right now. And so many artists that are focusing on bringing back that classic feeling and sound as well. So I think if you're just not finding it, you're just choosing not to. That's
what I'm saying. I feel like they're not willing to do the work to find the artists because they don't have the package.
That's what you got to do now.
Listen.
It's not given to you.
We don't have MTV doing the top 10 countdown. You got to go find it. So definitely agree with that. And then, of course, speaking of that, are there any artists that you would want to shout out, people that you feel like fit that vibe that they might actually enjoy?
Yeah, I'm like, he just dropped a song today, Destin Conrad. Like, he's so obsessed with him.
I got to check that out, yeah.
Like, I love his like complex melodies and vocal production and like I think he's been working with some of the same producers from the beginning, and like I love when an artist is working with some of the same producers because you hear the evolution of their sound together, and I just think that's so beautiful. Like you really develop their sound together. Victoria Monet, I think, does a great job.
And she got them dance tunes too. She got that upbeat vibe.
Yes. Like, she does a great job of like really emoting things, fusing that contemporary R&B sound with like the classic one, and also just giving people space to dance and move as well.
Yep.
Those are some of my favorites. And then we got like Flo from the UK.
Yeah, shout out
back
Flo.
The classic R&B girl group vibe. Like they're crazy. So shout out to all of them. I think they're all amazing, and I'm definitely like inspired by them as well. Yeah. I
got to give a quick Destin Conrad story, because one of the ways to tell an artist level is their show. So I saw him crazy. I don't know if you might have gone. I think it was Irving Plaza, maybe last year. Were you at the show?
I was there.
Okay, did you see the line?
Yes.
Dog, the line? I said, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. And I didn't mean it like
first like tour or show or something like that.
The line was wrapped around like 2 blocks, and I was kind of early. I said, God damn. Went inside, usually, and I'd be at a lot of shows like Terminal 5. I've seen Smino, Saba, all these great artists. I usually can weasel through, never aggressive, but I get to
they were not moving.
They were not
and
moving.
I'm a short nigga, and I was stuck in the back. I was tight.
Yeah, I was stuck in the back too. I'm like, oh, y'all, and like aggressively. I was like, no, I got to, no.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
It was
and
crazy.
Then he put on a great show. I was like,
amazing.
I was a little tight. I was like, damn, I feel like I didn't enjoy it the way I should have. But the fact that he could bring that out, I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
Because also, financially, that's how you really get paid.
Yeah.
Is a show like that. But
great
show, great artist. And like, that shows a connection to the fans. Forget about his followers, viewers, streams, whatever. For him to put up those kind of ticket numbers, I was like, nah, you're doing your thing, bro. Yeah. So that was an amazing moment.
That was a great show. And then he did like a little mini one after. I think it was like at the Google office or something in Chelsea.
That's cool.
And it was like more intimate, and it was like with YouTube, and it was so beautiful. Like his voice live is insane. And like that's the type of R&B I'm talking about. Like that's the shit that's, you know, really really intentional, and really like people resonate with it, which is why he's having shows like that, and why people are buying his tickets, and why he's like on his way up right now.
I think sometimes people focus in whatever I feel like a lot of people now, you know, make content about something or in some way are promoting a business outwardly to the world, and they worry too much about just a large scale of numbers rather than like the value of each number.
Yeah.
Like what's the value of every follower you have that really connects with whatever you're doing? You know, what's the value of every guest to your event? What's the value of every listener to your music?
You gotta cater to them.
And that's what's gonna go the long way, because the amount they're invested in you, you talked earlier about like, you know, buying tickets, buying merch, things of that nature. The deeper they're connected with you, the more that's gonna go up. And I think people need to focus on that more and not just the numbers, because we're in an era of numbers, but it's that connection, I think, that pushes you further, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I very much agree. It's like about building that connection with your community rather than just building the community. Because if you have like 10 fans and they're spending a lot of money on you because they believe in what you're doing and then they're investing versus 1,000 who just stream your music.
Facts.
You know?
And it's not easy, but I think it's low-key required too. Because the other thing is like, how do you cut through the white noise of social media or of just whatever you're doing? Because low-key, everything has kind of become saturated. If you're a content creator, if you're an event host, if you're an artist, like anyone can do it and anyone can say that they are that thing. So how do you get past kind of the BS in the beginning and then get to that certain level? And I feel like you have to be yourself and really show why you're unique. And being unique isn't being yourself. Because as corny as it sounds, there quite literally only is one you. Something I always say.
Finding your niche. Facts. I agree.
100%. So what's next for SAFA? What's next for you?
A lot. Like I said, the Prelude Extended is coming. And I've been working on developing that for a minute. So I'm very excited to finally put that out. It's going to breathe a lot of life into what's already out and also just like give people a taste of what's to come. I've been playing a lot of shows lately, so I think I'm gearing up, you know, preparing myself for a tour.
Let's get it.
So accepting all opportunities that come my way.
You need a little after party. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So.
You know, so yeah, I've just been really focusing on that live performance. I'm really trying to incorporate dance more into my music. So I've been really trying to learn that. And yeah, there's just like so much in the vault that's ready to come out. So like, pacing it and continuing to just keep doing what I'm doing and meeting new people and creating more and just also living life so that I can have something to be inspired by. Yeah.
How is that in terms of like living life and making music, the balance of just being, because I know you're an extremely busy person 24/7. How do you balance it all? Or try to balance?
It's hard. Like, I'm always working on trying to find that balance. I
feel you.
Trying to like live and also like create about what I'm living. It's like I'm the type of person that doesn't want to just write a song to write it. Like I want to have a story to tell. So sometimes I just gotta let myself like chill and not, you know, force myself to create. And like when I'm having those writer's blocks or like I just don't really feel like working on music or like working on something, I just let it happen. Yeah. Got
you. Hold on, is that the chain? Hey. Throw that up real quick.
Hey.
Tell me about the drip, because I love some good jewelry. You got your name on it. That's fire.
This was gifted to me. I love it. Really? I wear it at all my shows.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's dope. Speaking of shows too, what's like been your relationship with performance anxiety? Is it something that completely goes away now? I saw you just had a show at Hofstra, if I'm not mistaken. Congrats on that as well.
Thanks.
What's that been like performing? Because even just me hosting events at a larger scale, kind of being up there and being on mic, which is not the same as singing at all, had to get a little like, okay, let me, you know what I'm saying? So how's that been for you?
Yeah, I think the anxiety never goes away.
Yeah.
I think it's good though because it means that you care.
Type shit.
And I rehearse a lot for my shows. Like I'm always rehearsing for my shows. So I think like as long as I'm prepared and like give myself room to maneuver when necessary, like I feel like I'm always gonna be fine. And it's like also like you're not perfect, like you're human. So it's like just letting, you know, people receive you in all that you are and not just this perfect like idea of who you are as like, a performer, you know? Like I've been trying to, like, when I first started performing, I'd be hard on myself if I, like, messed up or, like, you know, but I think it adds now. And so whenever I perform now, I've been trying to, like, talk to my audience more and, like, tell the story a little bit more rather than just sing to them. And I've seen it connect really well with people, so.
Kind of showing your personality on stage sort of thing. That's dope. And speaking of that, I believe you opened up for Jazz Karis.
Yeah.
How was that? She's a dope artist.
Yeah, she's amazing. She was dope. I was super excited to open for her. I've been listening to her for a really long time.
Word.
And yeah, it was great. Like, she has a great and very dedicated community around her music. Like, all her fans were really there. She sold it out.
Let's go. Clap it up for that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Baby's all right.
She killed it. Baby's all right. She sold it out.
Great
she
spot.
sold out her whole Safe Flight tour.
Do your thing, girl. Do your thing.
But yeah, no, it was great, and like I was received so well.
Fire.
And I had a great time performing there, and just like meeting new people, meeting a new audience.
Fire. Yeah. Future collaborator, maybe.
Hey, we gonna see. We gonna see. But I also like some of my biggest audience is in the UK. So it was very interesting.
That's tough.
It was very interesting to perform to an audience of people that listen to that music. So
yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely a bridge there, so that was cool.
Nah, the UK R&B scene is going crazy right now. Mahalia, Callie Clare. I don't know if you know Nippa. He's doing his thing.
He's fire.
Coltrane.
Yes, I'm so
mad people. Mad people. And then if you just go into more of Europe, Ramon in the Netherlands, she's doing her thing. France, Tia Cola and Sunny Rave. There's so much talent in Europe.
All fire.
And back to the point of like R&B not being dead, it's way more global than ever. Not to mention Thames and Tyler, who are two of the biggest stars out there. Like the sound of R&B, it's more versatile, it's more global, it's more people. Like I think it's just in such an amazing state.
Yeah.
But UK though, they're going crazy.
They're doing
right now.
their thing.
Flow too, obviously, with the girl group vibe. So.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much talent out there. I'm so excited by it. We got the Sasha Keebles, the K1.
That too. Yeah, K1 is British.
Yeah.
That's so funny because she just dropped Do Whatever I Say or Whatever I Say. I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah. Hey, honest.
Yeah, I'm not. So when I first get into a song that I like love, I'm like, I'm going to play this 10 times in a row. And I did that this last weekend when she dropped. I did not know she was British.
Yeah, she's British.
Because she dropped the track with Jordan.
Yeah, I like the song.
Yeah, I'm saying?
Yeah.
Facts. He's British too, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Really? I thought he was.
Is he?
I think he is. I'm telling you, the talent pool is crazy out there.
It's crazy. I mean, shit. I wouldn't be surprised. They got something in the water out there.
That's fire. I really thought she was from California. I don't know why. Maybe it was the Kehlani connection. I was just making that up in my head.
No. She has a British accent.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Shout out the UK, man.
Shout out the UK.
London show?
Hey.
Real
soon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
That's super tough. That's super tough. What kind of tour are you thinking about, like in terms of amount of cities? I know that's a lot of thought goes into planning something like that, but any vision for it?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to connect with my audience the most. So definitely LA is going to be on there.
Let's go West Coast.
It's like my, a lot of people that listen to my music are out there.
I can see that.
Obviously, the main one is going to be heading back home to Virginia, D.C., DMV area.
Tough.
That'll be a big show for sure. I'm looking like a little East Coast tour. Could be nice. So like an Atlanta, Philly, Boston kind of vibe.
Yep.
Have a lot of fans out there too. And then like on a worldwide scale, London is one, and then South Africa, like really? They show me mad love out there, so that's fire. I might have to make a quick pop out.
That's super, super tough. Have you ever been out there?
Never, but I'm planning it.
Sheesh, yeah, that's a fire. I'm a piano, so you might have to drop a little remix.
Have to tap in. Yeah. They don't know it's already done. It's already in there.
Really, you have a track coming up?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if it's coming out, but it's done.
That's fire. That's really, really cool. But before we get out of here, though, any last words of inspiration that you give to people kind of trying to pursue their dreams as well, and maybe specifically in music?
Just like take your time, and stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't think you're cool enough, then maybe get cooler. That's really it.
That's a bar right there.
Maybe you're just not, and that's okay. But yeah. That's really it.
I love it. And then do you have any questions for me or any random hot takes that you just want to get off while you're here?
Hot takes.
You don't have to have them, but if you feel like, I'm here.
Be controversial right now?
Let's do it. Listen, I'm always ready. I got your back.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay, bet. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah. What does it mean for you to have like R&B on your platform now? You're saying R&B is not dead.
Come on.
So what does it mean for you to like bring that on here now?
Yeah. No. Well, first off, thank you once again for being my first R&B singer on the pod. It's dope. Like that's really been like the vision of Friday. And as you kind of mentioned yourself, like you'd hang out with your friends, drinking some wine, listen to the new drops. That's what I was doing on Fridays, just so we could all link together. Back when I was living in Philly a few years ago. And I was never thinking about hosting an event or doing a brand or anything like that. But I always just felt like, damn. And it would always be like a pregame kind of vibe, like, yo, why don't they play this outside?
Right.
Why can't I hear this outside? How come if I see R&B on a flyer, it's always Usher?
Right.
It's Keisha Cole, it's Fantasia. And shout out the legends. But I want to hear Bryson and Summer and SZA and
in the club.
You know what I'm saying? And Chico Russ and all these new young artists. So kind of did that, got to New York, and I was just like, I still don't hear it. I thought Philly is Philly. New York still didn't have it. So I'm like, how can I really center new age R&B on my platform and then in my event? Because I've always been, hosting a lot of things with friends and always been somebody's music taste that people like look to in my friend group. And then I was like, all right, let's pull the trigger. Let's make this a public event. So I did that last February 2024. So full circle to be able to actually have an artist on my platform that I can promote and be like, yo, y'all need to go check her out. Definitely means a lot, having Chase Shakur perform at my event as well. Got another performer this weekend. Got somebody in LA. Hopefully we can work on something in the future too. So definitely means a lot. Like long-term legacy. I want people to say, yo, in R&B, if you needed an event or you needed media, that dude did some stuff. So
or
that's
he
definitely
put me
something.
On.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and actually speaking of that, do you know Rory? He's a podcaster, but he dropped the album with the likes of like Raheem on it. He had Chantel May. He just dropped a song with Leon Thomas.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of, you know how DJ Khaled drops like compilation albums? And he kind of executive produces and like puts the project together, bringing in all these artists.
He does
That's
that?
Another like, what?
He does that?
DJ Khaled.
Rory?
Rory does that, is what I'm saying. And so someone else who also podcasts, who loves music, I'm like, shit, if one day I can put a little album together, that would be my last like
tap in
kind of thing. So yeah, but once again, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate you. And yeah, we'll stay tapped in. We'll definitely do something in the future. For sure. Episode 14, y'all. Peace. Oh, we got to cheers it too. Cheers to empty cups. Peace, y'all.